This video will show you 3 words that stop manifestation in its tracks. I'm going to share with you ways of reframing it so that you're actually able to attract what you want in a very powerful way. Welcome back to another video. My name is Aaron and I help people expand their consciousness. Now in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you all about understanding the words we use, how the words we use many times become self-fulfilling prophecies, and how when we change those words, everything begins to change. Now, I've been an avid learner, I guess you could say learner, of NLP, which is Neuro-Linguistic Programming. Now, NLP uses language in order to influence our mind in a powerful way, and understanding how we can kind of hack our mind. Now, the thing with NLP is that what we can be aware of is how our definitions and our vocabulary shapes our kind of experience. Now with the law of attraction, as I share a lot, we always get a reflection of what we believe to be true. We always get a reflection of what we define to be true. So if we say that certain things in our life are XYZ, then that will become our experience. Now this is the best part about it. What if when we changed our focus, we changed the meaning? What if when we changed the perspective, we started to get a totally new experience? Now this is actually a video that I have made before. I wanted to elaborate on a couple of these words. The first word that absolutely stops manifestation in its track is the word try. I see so many people that use it. I even catch myself sometimes. They're like, oh, I'm gonna go do this, I'm gonna try. And I'm like, wait, why am I gonna try? Why don't I just do it? You see, try implies doubt. Try implies that there's gonna be some type of resistance. Try implies that we kinda can do it and we kinda can't do it. Maybe we have an intellectual idea, but we don't know how we're gonna practically apply it. Whatever it is, anytime that you catch yourself saying the word try, reframe it and say am or will. I will go do something, I am doing something. However you wanna do it, but understand that this word right here is one of the biggest blocks that people experience in their life. Is a presupposition that imposes that it's going to be hard or that we actually can't do it. Now, if we're saying try, get to the core of where that belief comes from. Why do we believe that we have to try to do it? Do we believe that if we say we're going to do something that we're not going to follow through with it? One of the solutions to this I found is to have a to-do list every day. Have a thing, like a list of things you're going to do every day, and I prefer, or at least I recommend that set that list, the top 3 things that you're going to do the next day before you go to bed at night. When you wake up in the morning, do those 3 things, and as you do them, check them off the list as you do them, so that you kind of send a signal to your mind that says, when I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And then just realize that's a part of your self-identity. That's who you are. You're someone that when you go and you want to do something, you just simply do it. And as you reframe the try into the do, like the Yoda type saying, the idea is that as you do that, you start to find yourself naturally doing things that you want to do. And when you let go of try from your vocabulary, you'll notice that things happen in a much easier way. Now this is something I catch, especially a lot of my coaching clients, when I'm talking to them and I hear them say try. Where does that try come from? Where does that belief come from? And as you identify it with that awareness, you can let it go. You can reframe it to I will, and then things start to happen easier. Understand also that things in our life are a self-fulfilling prophecy, as I say so many times. So if we're looking and we're like, oh, I'm going to switch up my diet, for example, and it seems like it's hard to do, I'm going to try to do it. Why are we going to try to do it? Why don't we just do it? And we realize it can be as easy as we make it. What if we go in with the expectation that this is going to be easy? And even if it's like not completely believable at first, just act as if it were, and then eventually it will start to follow. It'll be something that kind of like links into place. So trying, reformatting that word, reframing it into the words of I will or I am will profoundly change the kind of experience you're having, because you're going to start to buy into yourself and knowing that you are worth it, and knowing that you can do something that you set your mind to, that when you set these to-do lists, you check them off, it's because you are worthy and you are able of doing that. Now the second word that absolutely stops manifestation in its track is the word problem. When things are a problem, we could be honest with ourselves, but when things are a problem and we give it all this power and we put this problem on a pedestal, that becomes something that is a self-fulfilling prophecy. Now, this is the thing. we can never solve a problem from the level of mind and thinking that it was created. So we must start to focus on the solution. And when we're focused on a problem, when we say something is a problem, that's when we continue to experience more and more of it. A problem seems very fixed. It's not it seems very fixed and very much like it can't change. So the key to this is knowing that we can reframe it once again into a challenge. Think about a challenge, like an obstacle course. You can get through it, right? But if there's some type of problem there, then maybe there's a huge roadblock and we can't get through it. That's the mental representation of it. A problem is something that's very solid, whereas what instead we could do is have a challenge for something we're working towards. One implies struggle, the other implies complete block to where we can't even get through it. And struggle's okay because that's a lot of times where we grow, but once again become aware of that definition. Do we prefer to struggle with the process, or will we figure it out? Will we move through it? There's so many times that if something bad happened in my life, you see the words there? If something happened and I associated it with being a problem, then that became a problem. That became something that was hard for me to change. Because in our minds, we associate problems with a lot of pain, a lot of struggle. But instead, an obstacle, an opportunity. This is even better. Actually, take away the whole challenge, put it as opportunity. Anytime something comes into your life that's not supposed to be there, see it as an opportunity. Either as an opportunity for you to let go of how things should happen, or an opportunity to see how can this fit into my life. A lot of times we'll assume that when certain things happen in our life, that it is not a part of the overarching process. I choose to know that if it's in my life, it's there for a reason, and as I trust the process, and as I allow it to be there, it will naturally subside anyways. It's kind of like our thoughts. Think of it in that way. In the way that when we try to resist our thoughts, they're more prevalent, they're more there. But if we learn how to observe our thoughts from a neutral place and let them be there, they start to go away. It's a funny paradox, but it is extremely powerful. In the same way, allow the things that come into your life to be there. Take action if you want to change them, but allow them to be there and watch how it transforms in front of your eyes because you're coming at it from a new type of energy. This is so important when it comes to law of attraction because whatever we focus on, we get more of. If we're focused on resistance and problems, we'll get more resistance and problems. We'll see problems in everything. We'll see problems in, at the grocery store and someone walks in front of you and you get up to a line and you feel like they cut in front of you. That's a problem all of a sudden. Whereas before, if you weren't focused in that way with your RAS, you may have just been like, oh, whatever, it's like no big deal. But we start to see things in everything because patterns grow, whatever we focus on grows. Now the third word that completely stops manifestation in its track is blocks. Now I mean this in a metaphorical way as well as the literal word blocks. So anytime that we give ourselves an excuse or a reason why we can't do something, that acts as something that will just stop us in our tracks towards getting what we want. Now the idea to this and the power of it is to first off be grateful, because if you find yourself with a limiting belief or some type of block in your life, it's there to show you something. It's there to show you that there's some type of neural connection in your mind that's associating where you are to where you want to be, and it's having something that's in their way there. And when you become aware of what that is, that's when you can choose a new thought. You can choose to let go of those habitual thoughts in your mind. And as you do that, that's where everything begins to change. Now, this is kind of similar to the word problem, but this I want to give a more of a metaphorical understanding. That when you let go and you ask yourself the question, what would I have to believe is true to be having this kind of experience? That's when everything begins to change. That's when you change your beliefs. And when you change your beliefs, you change the reflection that you get in your life. So become aware of what your blocks are and realize that in the same way of the imagery of us going down a street, and if there's a block there, it's something that we can't really get around. It's something that you think it literally stops us in our tracks. But instead, don't think of it in the form of a block. Think of it in the form of an opportunity. It's similar to the one before. If we do that, it's something that we can get around. It's something that we can see an opportunity to become aware of the beliefs that we have and how when we change our beliefs, everything begins to change. Our life is a reflection of what we believe to be true. It's a reflection of our definitions that we have. And as we change whatever those definitions are, that's where everything begins to change. And when we change our self-image, that is also when everything begins to change. We're always getting a reflection of what we project out to people. And that's why if you, in the description box below, you'll see a free MP3 guided meditation that will help you change your self-image to increase the emotion of who you are being, which means increase how you think, how you feel, and how you act, to go in the direction of what you want. And as you do that, you will naturally release blocks, and you will allow yourself to then attract what you want by letting go of the resistance, by letting go of those definitions. So understand that all you have to do for this process is change 3 main words: try, problem, blocks. Reframe all 3 of them. Realize that the blocks can be more of an opportunity. Realize problems can be more of a challenge or an opportunity, something for you to get through. Or realize that try can be I will or I am. And as you do that, you'll find that everything begins to change. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to like this video if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't already. Also, hit that little notification gear next to the subscribe button so that you're able to see the daily vids that I do. And other than that, as always, I will see you guys on the next vid. Peace, much love, namaste.